Namaskar. In today's edition of Right Angle, I'd like to share with you something which I deeply thought about and then realized that enough is enough. These sorts of things our leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, is talking of these days, and he's saying the same things consistently, relentlessly, without realizing their consequences. And in the process, he seems to have crossed the limits of these limits of decency, and you can say in political parlance, if you can say there is some Lakshman Rekha, he seems to have crossed that. I'm just reminding you of what he said yesterday or day before. He said something about Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS Sarpanchal, the supreme leader of the RSS. RSS is not a banned organization, and all told, it is a great nationalistic outfit. You may agree with it, you may disagree with it. RSS has got its own, viewpoint, own way of looking at the things. And in a democracy which believes in pluralities of thoughts, it has got every right to express and propagate its own viewpoints. It is up to the people of India to accept it or not, like it is up to the people of India to accept, BJP or Congress or somebody else, when the opportunities come and they do elect this true election. They really, choose their own leader. They choose who to vote for and who will be governing them as the ruling party. As I said, it's a question of freedom of choice in a democracy. But what did Mr. Rahul Gandhi said? So particularly Mr. Gandhi was talking of Bhagwat, who incidentally had said that for him, he thought the real independence of India came with the establishment of our grand Ram temple in Ayodhya. But then I marked that, and I really went and saw that particular sentence that Mr. Bhagwat has said. He said that for us, for me, in the sense that is his viewpoint. We might have become independent politically in 1947, but then the point is, when one talks of independence, it has got many aspects, many formats. It has got many dimensions. So obviously it will vary. The whole point, even in the independent India, you see that there are some people, they think that there are certain facts of life which were perhaps better during the British Raj. That does not mean that people saying this are saying that British Raj was good and independence is bad. No, that doesn't mean that. All told, if this country ultimately was divided in the name of religion, and it was partitioned because the Muslims wanted a separate homeland for them, and after that, the way the majority community, that is the Hindus, and their viewpoints were undermined and neglected. And in the name of, quote unquote, secularism, if there were the differences of, treatment in many spheres of life for Hindus and the Muslims, and the way the Hindus were, degraded. So, RSS belongs to that particular school of, thought. It has got every right, as I said, to interpret that the real independence, in the sense that though India became independent in 1947, that anti-Hindu feeling and the measures, the legislations, and the usual political treatment was such that there are discrimination, though they belong to the majority Hindu feeling, Hindu consciousness, were always suppressed. And maybe the solution of that problem, Babri Masjid, Ram Janmabhoomi movement, and the construction of the grand temple of Lord Ram, that way was a great sign of reawakening among the Hindus. So for this particular aspect, or for this dimension, when one talks of independent of India, Mr. Bhagavat perhaps was meaning this when he said that for us, mark the word, for us, the real independence we thought came with the construction of, or rather with the coming of the grand Ram temple in Ayodhya. So that is a way of looking at it. And as I said, this is his viewpoint, but that does not mean that Mr. Bhagavat meant, we were under the colonial rule till say 2024, till this Mandir was built. No, it is a question of as a looking at the things. And but then, as I said, really, I may have I should not be misunderstood, but I, for one, personally have serious doubts about the intellectual caliber of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. But the fact remains that he is our opposition leader now, leader of the opposition, and he has been duly elected by the people of India, and his Congress party is the largest opposition party right now in the country. And if people have chosen him, he has got every democratic right to express his viewpoints. But while so expressing his viewpoints, there should be some मर्यादा. अब जो बोलते हैं पर्टिकुलरली आप इतने बड़े नेता हैं तो कुछ मर्यादा रखना चाहिए ना. आप अगर वो मर्यादा का उल्लंघन करके आप बोले if it was not India, if it was some other country, then Mr. Bhagavat would have been in jail. I think this is the most outlandish statement coming from India's leader of opposition's mouth, that one can think of. On the other hand, as I am going to make 2-3 points, Mr. Rahul Gandhi should consider himself really lucky, because if you see all his utterances and all his statements and all his activities, particularly over the last 5 or 10 years, I am 200% sure, and I with great conviction I am saying, if it was not India and if it was another country, then Mr. Rahul Gandhi would have been in jail. What did he say day before yesterday? He was addressing some public rally here in Delhi. And there he said, Congress and I are fighting. BJP, perfectly all right. You have got every right to fight BJP politically. You are fighting BJP and RSS. That also is perfectly all right. No problem. You have got every right. You are a political party and you have got every right in a democratic India to fight against it. But What did he say then? The Indian state. You are fighting against the state of India. That means you are fighting against India. Even the Naxalites never had said this. Even in so clear terms. Of course, they also fight the entire system, this thing. But then the whole point is that Naxal always will be qualifying that, saying that in a political system, you can say that the political system, they are fighting. They have got a different political system. But as I said, that I have got serious reservations about the intellectual caliber of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So I'm quite sure he must not be understanding that. But in the process, he's saying the state of India. That means India as a state, India as an independent country. When one talks of state, there is this concept of sovereignty is intrinsically interlinked with this. You cannot become a state. State means country unless you are independent. So you are fighting against independent India. Can you believe this? This is nothing. I think this particular statement is enough to put him in jail. If any person really who can go and should go to the jail, it is Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And why Mr. Rahul Gandhi is so much against the Indian state? Because for him, the people of India are not electing him. That doesn't matter, because he and his family have got the divine right, the right given, conferred on that family, he and his family, by the God and goddesses above, that nobody else can govern India except Gandhi family, either directly or indirectly, as it was the case during the 10 years of UPA led by former or late Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. So unless you rule, every organization of the state is wrong. The election commission is wrong. Mr. Rahul Gandhi has said it many a time. The every system, maybe the judiciary is wrong. The whole point is this: Mr. Gandhi, in the process, is expressing, or rather is demonstrating, his ungratefulness of the highest order as far as the Indian judiciary is concerned. He is a convicted person. He has been convicted. You know that he has been convicted by the Gujarat High Court in some case, and his membership in the parliament was exactly terminated. And just because that conviction has stayed by whom? That conviction has stayed by none other than the Supreme Court. Had Supreme Court not stayed that conviction, Mr. Rahul Gandhi would not have been in the parliament. That is today, and in the process has also become the leader of the opposition. Then again it is the court which has given him bail in another case, in case of that national. I am not talking of the myriad cases that are there. Mr. Gandhi is fighting in various courts all over the country because of his utter nonsensical remarks. But the important thing is that he and his other family members, they are out on bail. In one case, as I said, his conviction has been stayed, and that is why he has been able to contest election. And another case, in the National Herald case, there is a corruption case, where he has grabbed the entire property of that trust of National Herald, and that case was he is out on bail. So that means if you are the leader of the opposition of India, then it is thanks to the judiciary. But you are so ungrateful. Now you say that, all organizations, including the judiciary, is full of RSS and BJP people. And I am fighting against the Indian state, knowing pretty well that, judiciary is the most, or rather, among the three most essential components of that Indian state: executive, legislative and judiciary. And you see the way he has been threatened, judiciary from, time to time. For instance, as you know, Another reason, I think, again, he's such an anti-national. The point is that he's really every bhasan of his in various public rallies is not uniting India. It is actually dividing India. Kya? In the name of caste and community, caste and religion. The other day again in Delhi, I think you know that this is the electioneering season here in Delhi, and Mr. Gandhi said, "Oh, nobody is talking of the caste, and so India and all the resources of the country must be divided, and the caste, the so-called, on the basis of the caste, and another dangerous thing he said, and on the basis of religion, everything should be shared on the basis of population of caste and religion." He talked of minorities, Muslims particularly. You are every day dividing the country in the name of caste and religion, and then in the process also threatening, for instance, the reservation. As I said, his entire, except this caste and religion, I don't think he has said anything sensible as an important political leader of the country over the last, say, 4 or 5 years. I'm not taking into account his rubbish about others, his role. That is the last point I will make, but then let me complete this point. Here, what is our constitution says? That there are affirmative actions. It is the judiciary which has put that ceiling. That earlier it was 50%, now it has another 10%, the constitution has 60%. That is the upper limit that the judiciary has fixed as far as reservation is concerned. Because no country can really run without talented people, without competent people. And when the talented and competent people's number is declining all over the world, and that is why people are running to America, to Canada, to Australia. The best brains are going because they all are really in dire short of these competent, talented people. You need great doctors, you need great scientists, you need great engineers. So the whole point is that if you talk of this and everything reserved, the Supreme Court has really put this maximum ceiling up to 60% as of now. And what you are threatening, the day I come, I will make it 80%, 90%. You again are threatening the judiciary. So my point is that threatening the judiciary and saying openly that you are fighting against the Indian state, and that is the last point I will make. In the process, you have really collaborated with anti-India elements abroad. He goes to America, he goes to London. What does he say there? Again, all these anti-India things, caste, religion, and really joins hands and addresses the gatherings joined hands with and gatherings organized by the anti-India elements. Like, last time he went to America, who is that, Muslim lady, she has lost, who had gone to Kashmir, so-called, Azad Kashmir, and, said that, India must think of, Kashmir and give Kashmir away. Kashmir must be independent. Umar Illai, I have forgotten her name. So the point is that, and then last time, Mr. Gandhi goes and hugs with her. Hugs her, and then all these, people and our diaspora, the way they are, trying to divide the Indians, not only here, he is not only dividing the Indians inside the country, he is also dividing the Indians, whether they are of persons of Indian origin or non-resident Indians also abroad, and joined hands with elements like Soros funded, organization, and then the great Hindenburg, again, Soros linked in Hindenburg, which you must have known that, today's news is that Hindenburg has decided to fold up its entire outfit Maybe it has got something to do with the coming of Mr. Trump, who will be taking oath as the President of United States on 20th of January. And Mr. Trump also was talking of this deep state, and this Soros funded deep state and linked. Soros was a very important player, and that is why President Biden, before he leaves the office, he has given him some civilian award. No wonder why Democrats lost elections badly there in America. So the point is that these are the elements, Hindenburg, and the way consistently its reports, these so-called deep states report, every coincident with the beginning of every parliament session. Whether earlier it was SEBI or our Adani, or whether it is our before that Rafael and what not, and these are the very elements with which Mr. Rahul Gandhi has very close link. Can you imagine indulging in such anti-national activities for such a prolonged period and saying all these things? He is still a free man and he is the leader of India's opposition. Is this possible in any other country? My appeal actually to the government of India is this. Well, you may not have, Mr. Gandhi's rightful place is in the Tihar jail. He is talking of other country putting Mr. Bhagwat is in jail. I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi's real place is in Tihar jail, which he should have been there. Not now, I think 4 or 5 years back. But the point is, still is roaming freely. What the government should do, at least set up a commission. And as an Indian, I have got a right to know Mr. Rahul Gandhi's activities and collaborations with anti-India elements abroad. And I think the government should set up a commission and find out what the reality is, and then please tell to the countrymen, that here is a person whose place actually in the Tihar jail is now giving everyday bhashans to us and as the leader of the country's opposition. So this is the food for thought for you. Let me stop here. Thank you for listening to me and your patience. Namaskar.